backyard brawl a little bit, but I think we'd rather get to Georgia playing South Carolina. Um, I expect this game to go about like it did last year. South Carolina has not looked bad this season, but I don't think they've shown me anything that says, hey, they're going to be a great team or even a competitor or a challenger in the East. I do expect Georgia to jump all over them. They may start a little bit slow like they have the past couple of weeks, but I think they're going to be fine. I think they finally make Spencer Rattler throw an interception. I think they keep Carson Beck pretty clean. I think they get that run game going even more than it has been. And I think they'll probably, 4 touchdowns right now? They're predicted to win by
7.5. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah,
But if I had to pick, I'd say they cover. I think Brock Bowers had a huge game against South Carolina last year. I think he's going to do that again this year. He's just a matchup nightmare for anybody.
He's a matchup nightmare for everybody.
So I do think Georgia's going to win, and if I have to pick, I'm going to pick them to cover. Like I said, I don't think it will be a close game, and I really hope it's not as a Georgia fan.
Yeah, I hope it's not either. The last team to beat Georgia in Sanford Stadium was
South Carolina.
2019. Jake had 3 interceptions. I think 2 of those were not his fault, or at least one of them was his fault. But the last time that Georgia lost at home was to South Carolina. That was the last time. And incidentally, the coach for South Carolina that game is the co-defensive coordinator for Georgia now. So
Yep, absolutely.
I think there'll probably be some reminders all week long, or has been all week long, about that game. I don't think that they're going to repeat that. I think Georgia's going to roll on through this thing, but I'll be honest with you, 27.5, which is basically 4 touchdowns. I think it's going to be closer than that, Will. I really do. I don't think Georgia's going to cover. I do not think Georgia's going to cover that. I think Georgia's going to win straight up. I think the final score of that game is going to be somewhere around, 35 to 35-24, something like that. I think that they're going to stay in the game pretty late. And I think Georgia's going to pull away there probably halfway through the fourth quarter, kind of like what Ole Miss and Tulane did this past weekend. But I don't think there's going to be a 28-point win. I don't think.
2 points. 1, if you don't believe in Georgia, just say so. 2, you think that defense has given up 24 points?
I didn't say the defense will give it up.
You think it's going to be pick sixes happening, or what you anticipate? A kickoff return for a touchdown?
You got the Beamer ball on the special teams, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't, if I was a betting man, and I'm not. I don't bet. I don't. My money's mine. I'm not giving it to somebody else. But if you give me your money and say, hey, can you bet on what you think? I'm going to bet Georgia straight up on this game, and I'm going to bet South Carolina covers the spread.
Georgia's scoring over 40. South Carolina's not cracking 10 like it has been the past few times. I hope right.
I think there's going to be some. I think there'll probably be a special teams. There could be a special team score on South Carolina's part.
Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, so we both agree Georgia's going to win.
And taking my bias out of it, like I told you guys, I'll take my bias out of it and try to predict based on odds activity. So
I'm not biased. I just noticed that this spread is. Do you know how bad Boston College has looked these past 2 weeks?
Boston College.
They lost to NIU and they barely beat Holy Cross. The spread for FSU Boston College is 26.
Oh, wow.
That is almost just a point and a half less than Georgia, South Carolina. That tells you how much they think of Georgia and how little they think of South Carolina.
Holy Cross is good, man.
No, they're not. Stop. Quit it. Georgia's going to win and they're going to cover, man. And they're going to beat them to death.
What's Holy Cross's, what's their mascot?
I believe they're the Paladins, if I'm not mistaken.
The who?
The Paladins.
The Paladins.
I believe so.
Yeah, the mighty Paladins. Got about a minute left. So.
Real quick, give me your analysis. If FSU keeps this, if South Carolina keeps this close, what does that look like? How do they do that?
I think that the only way they're going to keep this close is if we commit some turnovers, I think that, and Carson has been known in the past to make some mistakes. Now, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I hope he don't. But I think Carson could make some mistakes in this game. I think, we're going to have to play some young running backs. We may put the ball on the ground. Could be a muff punt, something like that. I just think that something could happen that gives South Carolina another possession or two. And so that could keep them in the game right there. and a breakdown in coverage. I think that Spencer Rattler can make things happen. You look at the Tennessee game last year, and he looked like Superman, like another version of Tom Brady.
I know it's Ball State, but man, Georgia had some great pressure last week. They did good turning the ball over. I think they're going to have Spencer Rattler running for his life, and I think he's throwing 2 picks, not just the one.
There's definitely going to be some things that you see this game that you haven't seen yet so far from Georgia, no doubt.
100%.
Yep. All right, guys, that's going to do it. The Drive at 5 will be back next Thursday, 5 o'clock. Invite you guys to listen in. Again, go to the YouTube channel, XL Sports Network on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Give us some comments. And again, thanks to David Venables and the David Venables studio here in Hawkinsville. Shout out to the Steakhouse in Hawkinsville. Go there and get yourself a good Sunday dinner. And for Ken on the boards, Will. We missed Chaz in Tallahassee, but we'll hopefully get him on the air again next week. This is Chuck signing off. We'll talk to y'all next week. You listen to the XL Sports Network and the River.
Dive into the river.